name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41 and brought to Lawrence County, Alabama. That's Moulton, not too far from Redstone Arsenal, Huntsville, Alabama, and NASA. This is the family that I was put in, and this is me. This is made in 43, so I was brought there in 41, age 1 year. So I was about, 4 years old then. This is Lina Dempsey, the mother of the twins, and she had killed her twins. They were born out of wedlock, and the family covered it up. I found out in late 83 about my kidnapping and real name, and Annie Carter is next to the youngest daughter in that family. She was a teacher, military school outside Lexington. She lived in Carlisle, Kentucky. And when I had the Hustler magazine, an endorsement done saying I knew who was responsible for his shooting, etc., and was driving a car leased by Hustler, I had enough with me that she didn't attempt to hurt me. It's how they do it. Circumvent the law. But anyway, she told me that the family knew, and the mother had asked them to cover it up because Lina would have faced the death penalty in Alabama for killing the twins, and then they were told that they would receive money for keeping me, and I grew up with Peggy Ann Dempsey's identity, mine taken. My name is Margaret Ann Windsor. So I'd give you some background there because they've really used everything in the book to keep me homeless, and law enforcement is a part of it. I wrote a book on mind control back in 76 till April Fool Day of 80 when I was filled full of antifreeze and deliberately stuffed in the car and taken across the state line back to Alabama, where I only saw my children a few times over the years. My apartment was taken illegally by an ex-husband, and I worked for the district attorney in Huntsville. In the condition I was in, I should have died. The antifreeze should have killed me. I worked for Fred Simpson, the district attorney in Madison County, Alabama, in Huntsville. Now, then, the reason I'm putting this up, and I probably... What did I do with it now? I thought I still had it. Well, oh no, I got it from, okay. So I can't pull it up right now. I put it back and I'm doing this video, so I can't get it. I just put it on Facebook and on Instagram. I wrote about mind control murders, and I didn't mean to show the Hustler, that part of it. The mind control murders that I was writing about. Then Larry Flint, the person that shot him, was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I was living in Marietta. Now, this is where you get into, I wrote about Larry McDonald, or Lawrence McDonald, the U.S. Congressman doctor, and the plane he was on, this is when it was flown out to Flint's, was shot down by the Soviets Russia when it veered into their airspace. It was a KAL, Korean passenger jet, and all aboard were supposedly killed, and Larry McDonald was aboard. But you're getting into things that later I'm trying to tell that mind control murders is invisible. So these were deliberately done over a period of time, like the Virginia Tech shooting, mass shootings next door to me here in Blacksburg, Virginia. And one of the students was a student at Blacksburg, was the Fort Hood shooter. And he's, I believe, on death row now, I'm not sure. But he was also a psychiatrist. So now then, I'm just showing you a little background. The Aurora, Colorado was one of the mind control murders, James Holmes, etc., etc. What I wanted to get into here, though, and I don't have the paper, I thought I did, was the police have deliberately kept me homeless. The I had a letter from the U.S. Attorney on June the 23rd of '79. In response to, I thought it was the book. I didn't know my real name then, and the doctors and what I had in the book. And by the way, I never got it published. I had the antifreeze put in me. And nothing's ever been done about any of the laws that have been broken against me. But the letter from the FBI came. National Security, William Harper was the attorney, U.S. attorney from Atlanta that issued it. It was issued, the FBI issue a letter or turn things over and tell, to the U.S. attorney, see if it's prosecuted or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to go to, I was deliberately kept homeless over the years. My jobs were shut down, and I actually lived on the Appalachian Trail. People were told here by the police not to help me, but I've been run and put on the side of the road trying to find my children, trying to find a job. It's hideous what has been done, and I can't put it here. I've tried to put it on other. What I wanted to say now, though, was that in going to the forest, and the laws have been broken against me. I am not the criminal here. The law enforcement is. In fact, several times people have said, aren't you running from the law? I wanted to get over the years that Eric Smith, the ranger here, who just issued me a ticket last Sunday, or a warning, and I got scammed. I didn't realize it at the time, but a cab driver that I had known back in '07, who I trusted, suddenly I call a cab, and he shows up after all these years and the many times I've called a cab. He shows up. I'm showing my bedding. I don't have a place to go. This is my belongings and no money. But anyway, I got scammed out there. I'll just put this down here rather than showing the other stuff. Let me just put it down here. Anyway, over the years, they've actually put me in jail. And at one point, the last time they did it, it was for a month. I could have served a year. And Eric himself told me, Smith, that Woody, who was his boss, supervisor, actually lied to the judge and said I threw rocks at them. Well, a friend of mine gave me this so I could put it up on YouTube. And I can't get an attorney. It's who I am. It's why all this has happened. But the mind control murders were deliberately done in patterns, and before my video goes off, so these can be proven. I want to go back a little bit in time when I first knew that there was something wrong. I didn't know anything about mind control. I just knew there was something wrong with the people that were dying. And there was a list of them there at Redstone Arsenal, Huntsville, NASA. But like Bunny Saylor, and she actually came to me when I worked for the DA in 80 after the antifreeze had been put in me. And she begged me to go to the attorney I was working for because her husband and two of his friends worked in labs at the Arsenal or at NASA, for NASA, and they had top security. And suddenly they were put under investigation, and then suddenly her husband, who was ready to retire, looked like he committed suicide, blew his head off, I believe she told me. And then the other two, one developed rare cancer and died suddenly, and the other one drove his car into the Tennessee River and died. So, of course, I couldn't get my attorney. She'd gone to everybody, and she thought I could help her, and here I can't help myself. So I'm getting away from a little of it. I wanted to get back to, first of all, let me say this about what just happened with Eric Smith. Over the years I was arrested. They have tainted me with, none of the truth has come out. None of it. You only see what I'm responding to, what they're doing. You're not seeing what they're doing to me. But anyway, the other day I went back out there because of what's going on. I went out to camp, And I left, and the cab driver I called, and cab driver I hadn't seen